Hello, my name is Agatha, and this is the April forecast for the astrological April forecast for April 2016 for the sign of Virgo. So Virgo, the new moon, which will happen on the 7th of April 2016 at 18 degrees of Aries, will happen. In your case, it will be in the 8th house, and it's going to be conjunct transiting Uranus. So there might be a big transformation, like sudden, out of the blue, a big transformation connected to your shared resources. It could be like suddenly you win the lottery, suddenly there's like an inheritance from a long lost uncle or something like that. This is in a more positive way, or this sudden transformation might have to do with the money that you earn with your partner. For instance, you might be living with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and maybe he or she leaves, or he or she loses his job or her job, and suddenly there's less money. Or if it's not that, it could be like a sudden expense, a sudden transformation in your life having to do with a child. Suddenly, either you suddenly have a kid, or you or your girlfriend. Suddenly there's a kid in the picture, and then there's a sudden transformation in your in the money in your life that will imply a transformation in your joint resources. So you have to provide for this kid, or there's some sudden, if it's not a child who is born, something to do with your child that requires that you and your spouse, for instance, spend money on him or her. It could be something to do with health, but not necessarily. It could be, imagine that, sudden education expenses. Another way of reading this lunation is that, for instance, you might take a step to be with your partner in a more intimate way, in a more physical way. So there's a new beginning in your sex life somehow. So there's many different ways of reading this lunation. Or it could be that you might be getting a big surprise in terms of taxes, the taxes that you have to pay, and you were expecting a certain amount, and then suddenly the amount is like triple. Hopefully not. It could be the surprise. It could be that you have to pay very little. It would be great, wouldn't it? No, it could be that. So then the full moon, which is an ending or a culmination, happens on the 22nd of April at 2 degrees of Scorpio. And in your case, Virgo, this full moon happens in your 3rd house. So it's the 3rd house is connected with siblings, neighbors, communication, the way you speak, messages, your car if you have one, or your bike if you have one, and the neighborhood, or the route that you take to your job, and from your job to back to your house. So imagine that you did got, for instance, a big you got a tax return which is like bigger than you expected, and then you thought, I can use this money to buy a new car, for instance, or to get to take your car to the mechanic. Maybe it needs something and you couldn't afford it before, but now you could, or you buy a new car, or a new second-hand car, you put that money on your car. If it's not a tax return, it's like a sudden something good that happens in your financial life, and you put it in your car. Or it could be that this has nothing to do with you. There's a culmination or an ending related to a sibling or to a neighbor. For instance, a neighbor might leave, or a neighbor might come and live in your in your building, or something might have to do with your a sister or a brother. For instance, he or she might become a father or a mother for the first time, for instance, something like that. Another way of reading this, you might get a message from a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Maybe you're not with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Maybe it's a long distance relationship, and maybe they send you a special message. So there's many ways of interpreting the full moon on the 3rd house. And that's it, Virgo. This is the reading that I have for you for April 2016. I hope you have a great month. If you'd like a private consultation with me, please send an email to dunyaza@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. All the information is below. Bye bye.